Hello, podcast listeners. We know podcasts are a great way to catch up on a program that you may have missed on KSJE, and it's provided as a free service of this radio station. But you know, KSJE is now listener-supported, and so while you enjoy this podcast, we hope that you'll also take some time to join KSJE. Become a member today. It's quite easy to do. Just go to our website at ksje.com/support and pick the level of support that best matches your budget. Thanks again for listening. Here's your podcast. Well, let me turn to my guest who is with me this morning, waiting very patiently for her introduction. Rolleg-Adair is here from Presbyterian Medical Services. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back to KSJE.
Well, thank you for having me back.
You bet. It's good to have you here. And of course, as I always do when we talk with someone from PMS, I always disclose to the audience that I'm on the board of directors. So there's that disclosure, everyone. But you are the Children's Services Manager with Presbyterian Medical Services.
Yes.
And so that involves dealing with Head Start and early Head Start programs.
Yes, so I oversee our Head Start program, which is ages 3 to 5, our early Head Start, which is ages 6 weeks to 3, our pre-K program, which is 4-year-olds, and we also have a state-funded home visiting program, which is actually prenatal up to 3.
Okay, and I know it seems to me that our state is doing more with early childhood education and home visiting and things like that. It seems like that was a big topic of conversation at the legislature this past year.
Yes, yes.
Which is a good thing.
It is a good thing. It is a good thing. And so we've actually just maintained our enrollment numbers. So we have about 50 children that we see throughout all of San Juan County for our home-based program.
And there's probably a need for more, I would think, for more spots or more ability to visit more families?
I think there always is, for sure. And, you know, our community definitely goes up and down, you know, with everything. But absolutely, and there's quite a few programs that provide this service. What's nice about our home-based program is that the children don't have to have a disability. They don't have to be the first child in the family. They don't have to be income-based, those types of things. So it's really nice that, you know, we can take in anybody that's really just saying, hey, you know, I kind of want some extra support. You know, and as a young mom, sometimes that's what you need, just because you're kind of like, oh, I need somebody else to talk to make sure to tell me, am I doing things correctly?
Right.
You know, and then we at that point, then we partner with Roundtree Children's Developmental Services if need be. You know, if
another PMS
program, which is that is the early intervention program. So if we need to partner with them, we're able to do that. And then also, of course, if they are interested and need some, you know, high quality childcare, we're able to then connect them to our early Head Start program.
Right, and those programs have some spots. Are they full, or how are they looking?
So we're doing really well in Head Start.
Okay.
So we have about 181 slots filled in Head Start.
Okay.
And so in early Head Start, we've grown a lot. So we've added 5 additional classrooms this year. So that's really exciting because that is really what the community is needing.
That's the demand?
That's the demand.
That you're seeing? Okay.
So
there's spots there?
So we have spots, yes. So we actually added a new spot. We had 2 classrooms in Aztec. So we haven't had that before. We've always just had Head Start out there.
Right.
And we started just to see as pre-K, you know, is really growing in all the areas. We just said, you know, what's that need? And that need is really for those children that are 6 weeks, you know, to 3. So we added 2 early Head Start classrooms, so ages 13 months to up to 3, and then we have 1 Head Start classroom still that's there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you've got locations throughout the county also, which is important to note, I think, too, because a lot of folks may think, well, this is just in Farmington or in Aztec, but it really is all over the place.
It's all over the place. So we have 7 different locations. So I'll have to use my fingers.
That's okay.
When I go through.
Because you don't have any of the notes in front of you, so I'm pretty impressed that all this is coming out of your head, Rolleg-Adair. But yes.
So yes, we have our Nappy location, which is called Little Feet. So there we serve early childhood for early Head Start, ages 6 weeks up to 3. I have 4 classrooms there.
Okay, which is literally up on the Nappy, up on the mesa,
Nappy,
right by the offices there, right?
Yes, and people kind of think, oh, that's so far, but it really isn't.
No.
It really isn't. I mean, it's about 7 miles, kind of up when you kind of think that's even just from our main office there off of Riley, so it's really not that far.
Right.
Then we partner with Farmington Municipal Schools, and we're out at Rocinante, and I have 2 early Head Start classrooms there, and that's also pretty much an infant room up to 24 months that we serve. Then we have partnered with Bloomfield Schools, and we're out at the Charlie White Brown facility there, and I have another infant room there, and so we do 6 weeks to about 24 months there. And then we have our Cottonwood site. And Cottonwood is located between Bloomfield and Sunray Casino area. So there I have 1 early Head Start classroom. We take about ages 24 months and up there, and then we have 1 Head Start classroom. Of course, I just mentioned Aztec, and
Right.
so out at Aztec, we have our 2 early Head Start classrooms and 1 Head Start classroom. We partner with Central Consolidated Schools, and we're out at the KECC, and there we have 1 Head Start classroom. And then we have our largest facility, which is our Carlton site, which is here in Farmington at 900 South Carlton. There I have 15 classrooms, so very, very large, but we have 7 Head Start and 7 early Head Start now, and then our 1 pre-K.
Very good.
Yeah.
So they really are spread all over the place.
All over the place.
And again, so that's really helpful, I think, for families who have maybe they live in Farmington but work somewhere else, or vice versa, and so it makes it easy to get kids dropped off and picked up.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And so, we've also, something that's new this year for Head Start is that we've changed our hours.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so we used to have quite a few double sessions, which
Right.
were like 3.5-hour sessions, AM, PM kind of thing. We are now across the board, 5 days a week, 6.5-hour days for every Head Start session. I still have my 3 sessions that are currently year-round, but everywhere else, I have 3 classrooms when I say that, so I have 3 classrooms that are year-round. Everywhere else, we are, that true public school time frame, so we're looking at the 5 days a week, 6.5-hour days, so it's more, I think, easier for those families.
I was going to ask you the reason for the change, but just to
It's
sync it
the
up with
need.
the other.
Well, it's really, we saw the need for all of the community, right? Because they were kind of like, okay, well, I have to be at work by 8. I work till 5. I have kids that get off at 3. Other kids in the public
Older
schools,
kids, right.
yeah. And so, how do we kind of pull all that together?
Right.
And so, when we really started doing surveys and kind of looking at all that, I was like, we thought that's probably our best thing. That's really what we need to do. And that is also something that I think, Head Start's goal by 2020 is that they really wanted to see some extended hours. So with that, we're able, to really provide more services, longer services, definitely get in more high quality services. And then from there, they can then maybe do subsidy or do something else for those 2 hours of after school care, if you
Right.
will, from that 3 to 5 time frame, that maybe then they can connect in with their kids that are already going to the public schools.
Right. And it kind of all syncs up.
Yes.
To be able to do that. So with this new time. So
Yes.
there you go. Now, you mentioned high quality care, and I want to ask you a little bit about that, because I know from being on the board that Presbyterian Medical Services does a good job of accreditation with the Head Start and Early Head Start programs and the sites, correct?
Correct. So we currently have 3 of our centers are NACE accredited, which is the highest level of star ratings that you can have, that are recognized nationally. So not just at the state level, but nationally. So we are in the process of actually getting 2 more of our other centers done, and then we'll be focusing, as well on Carlton. So we really have 3, but I have 2 that are really coming up within this next year, and that will be Bloomfield and Cottonwood. So currently, my Kirtland site and Aztec site and Rocinante site are all NACE accredited. So within that, also what we do that's different that we were talking about for high quality is that we also do creative curriculum. That is our curriculum that we utilize all the way down to those kids that come in at 6 weeks. People think, oh, really, what are you really doing with them? You're just playing with them. Well,
Right.
we're playing.
Right.
It's fun, of course.
Sure.
But within that, it's truly focusing on all these areas. So we focus, on literacy, on mathematics, on
Really?
cognitive.
At that age?
At that age, cognitive,
They're not doing long division at that age.
No, we're not doing
Okay.
long division yet.
Okay.
But
you got other
but we
things
do bring
that
in
are-
numeric things, right?
Sure, sure,
all the
sure.
counting and the numbers and the colors and all those
Right.
things, and of course language
I
development.
mean, I still can't do long division, and look how old I am. So there's that. But yes, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So we do social, emotional, all those types of things that we're focusing on looking at. Then from there, we also utilize Teaching Strategies Gold. That's our assessment tool. So that the teachers are responsible throughout the entire year to constantly be assessing the kids. And then we have 3 times a year that we really focus on, and we pull all that data together in order to have parent-teacher conferences. And then we're able to tell the parents, where their children are developmentally.
And I would think this is important for parents to know how their kids are doing, even before they get to public school.
Absolutely.
And because it seems like kids are learning more so much faster, and there's so much more to learn, and so many things to help them get ready for even kindergarten, that's part of this whole conversation about early childhood education, is it not?
It is, absolutely. And the demands of those children entering kindergarten are higher and higher and higher. That's the reason that we're seeing more pre-K. Now they're doing the pre-K 4-year-olds, they're doing, pre-K for 3-year-olds. So, those demands are much higher. And so that's our focus through Head Start and Early Head Start, is that we really want to make sure that those children are truly school ready.
Right, and that's what you're seeing.
That's what we're seeing.
And when you talk to parents, and so I guess for information for parents, because there's a lot of choices out there for Head Start and Early Head Start and daycare programs for children. I mean, this is some of the questions they could be asking as they decide where to send their children.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's very important for them to always ask every child care facility that they take their children to, every preschool, what curriculum is it that you're utilizing, and how are you assessing them? I think that is so important, because that is, again, what those public schools are ready for. And if their children are entering in and they're not ready, they're already kind of starting in with that foot back instead of that, true Head Start. So through that, we can also help if there are children that may be at risk for disability or maybe do have a disability. We do also provide services to them. And we also work really close with our sister program, Roundtree.
Right.
And then also with any of our public schools, whether it's, Aztec, Central Consolidated Schools, Farmington Schools, Bloomfield Schools. So as need be, we, if there's any children that have a disability or we think are at risk for a disability, then we have a mental health and disability specialist. And she works really close with the teachers and with those public schools and in order to help get those children in to get them assessed.
Which is important too.
Yes.
I know, and parents are concerned about that. So that's good to know. My guest this morning is Jill Adair. She is with Presbyterian Medical Services. She is the Children's Services Manager with PMS. And speaking of parents, you have a orientation meeting just coming up tonight?
So we do. We have a mandatory parent orientation meeting. So for every one of our parents and children that attend, so we do have to have, the parents need to attend that. And that is a time, and it's actually going to be here at the college, in the Performance Hall. So in Henderson Fine Arts, they're in the Performance Hall at 5 o'clock today for about an hour. And so it is mandatory, and it's mandatory because we are regulated by Office of Head Start to hold these.
Okay.
So therefore, the parents have to attend. So if they don't come, trust me, your center supervisor, they will track you down.
Okay.
So what we do with that, though, is we're really going over all of the policies and procedures. There's a lot, that they need to be aware of and to know, and all of our services as well that we offer.
Sure. And so that will kind of go over all that and
Yes.
be in and out in an hour, you're thinking.
It's about an hour.
Yeah.
And we do provide childcare. So
Okay.
we will have an extra room today with some staff there to provide childcare with some little snacks and water and stuff. So yeah.
And activities and something to keep the kids
Something-
occupied for that hour.
Keep them occupied,
right?
exactly.
Because you guys know all about that, how
We
important
do.
that is.
It is so important. It is so important. And also through that, that's also time to listen to what we do and to learn about it, but then also to learn, more about all of the parents' requirements. We are a free program. So, there is not a cost for the parents to bring their children to our services. We provide all the diapers, all the wipes, formula. They get breakfast, lunch, snack. So we provide everything, but also what they're going to hear about tonight is some of their, responsibilities of the volunteering into a classroom, doing some in-kinds. And also, we're always looking for parents to be on our policy council. And so our policy council is truly that time for those parents to be involved, because they actually are that part of that governing board along with the PMS board.
Right.
We also have a policy council board.
But we hear from those policy council boards
Yes,
at our
you
board
do.
meetings. I know about what you're
yes.
talking about in
Yes.
those different regions of the state, because PMS certainly has these facilities all across the state. When they
We do. We have 3 other counties.
Yeah, and so they have local boards as well, right?
Yes.
These policy boards.
Yes, so every county has their own local board, and then from that, each county has about 3 to 4 people that actually come to these meetings and they're only held 4 times a year, but then they come to those meetings as well in order to kind of talk about the needs and be a part in the development of our policies and our procedures with Head Start.
Right. And I know the other part of this, too, is that you are operating under the auspices of the federal Head Start program, and so
Yes.
you have to certainly follow all of their rules and regs and policies, too.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're following Office of Head Start regulations and standards. We also follow CYFD's regulations and standards.
state, Child and Family.
When it comes to the Children's Youth and Families Department of certain things in that fashion, definitely through our New Mexico State guidelines for child care and
All
New
those
Mexico
things.
licensing and CACFP and all sorts of things when we think about all the food and things that we
Right.
have to follow to bring in.
That is job security for you to keep track of all that stuff. So there you go. We also, I know, want to talk a little bit about Festival of Trees. That is the
do.
signature event for Presbyterian
Yes.
Medical Services, and I can't believe we're talking about it already, but here
I
we are in
know.
September, so we
I
have
know.
to.
We have
Because
to.
it'll be here before we know it.
Yes, yes. So, Festival of Trees. Oh my! One of my favorite things of all
Right?
time.
Mine too.
It is, and it's I've been with PMS for 17 years, and so I've been a part of Festival of Trees from pretty much from day one. So we are doing some really fun new things this year.
Uh-oh, okay.
Yeah. So we are going to have.
Still gonna have trees.
Tons of trees. And
Okay.
It's so pretty. That's one of my favorite things that I love is that I'm there from day one when you walk into the Civic Center.
Right.
And it's just a big open room. And then to literally watch it develop into this thing that is just absolutely gorgeous.
That
with
transformation, all those
transformation,
volunteers, right? Yeah.
All the trees
All the
and
trees.
the lights. It's so pretty. It's so
Yep.
pretty. So this year we're going to have a Polar Express
Okay.
on Friday evening, so it's going to be fun. So,
Now
festival.
that to me says train. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, like a little train. Yeah, for
Okay,
kids.
okay,
For kids.
well,
for kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not Scott size, but
Yeah,
okay. I understand.
Yeah. Well, actually, what we're wanting that to be is kids of all ages, of course, but really we're focusing on that kindergarten age.
Right.
Kind of up to that preteen type of age, because we also have Teddy Bear Tea.
Mm-hmm.
Teddy Bear Tea is usually for kind of the infants up to about 5.
Right.
So we kind of are wanting, what are we going to be able to capture for that
Some
age
older
after?
kids, maybe. Okay. So this
Yeah.
is new.
This is new,
All
so
right.
we're really excited about that. Tickets will be going on sale as well for that. We will have our pre-purchase opportunity still on that Wednesday, and then we'll do our family night Thursday, and actually on Thursday too, we'll still do the lunch with the trees.
Right. And this is all the week after Thanksgiving. Is
Thank
how it
you.
always
Yes.
sits on the calendar that week
Yes,
after
the week
Thanksgiving.
after Thanksgiving. So we will do lunch with the trees, and for I think it's $7, you get
Yeah.
a sandwich, chips, a drink, a cookie. You can't go anywhere for $7 and get all of that.
No,
for
that's
sure.
good. Right.
And opportunity to come and see the gorgeous trees. And then, so again, family night is Thursday night, right after Follow Santa from the
Usually
parade.
the parade that's downtown, the Christmas parade, right, on Main Street that Thursday night.
Yes. Then Friday, coffee break.
Okay. Right.
So that is another one of my favorite times. We just have so many neat foods and opportunities coming in for that, and great coffee. And again, just the ambiance of being able to go through and looking at the trees. Then there's also, I believe, senior time. And then we'll get into the evening time and do Polar Express. And meanwhile, we'll still, the event will still be open to everybody else. So even though we're doing, the Polar Express time frame, that doesn't mean that you can't come to the Festival of Trees.
Right.
So,
I know that's something that the committee always makes sure that
Yes.
people can. It's always free to attend
Yes.
to see the trees at some
Right.
point during the multi-day festival.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Wonderful.
So,
And we were talking, I'm looking, I finally called up the calendar here. So this is the week of December 1st, everybody, and actually everything will kick off probably on that Wednesday, which would be the 4th
Yes.
of December.
Yes.
And then, of course, the Christmas parade and everything else is the week always after Thanksgiving. So that would be Thursday, December 5th.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be the children's night and family night
Right.
at the festival.
Right, and on Thursday's Teddy Bear Tea. So if you
Right.
want to get tickets, that sells out fast.
Right.
Fast. So if you're
They
wanting
have
to
a
get
couple,
those
and
tickets.
they have a couple of those too,
We
don't
have
they?
two of them now.
Because
We used to
there's
only
been such
have
a demand.
one.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. I
So
remember
now
that.
we have two. So
Okay.
it goes so quick, and it's just so neat. So that sells out really, really quick. Lunch with the Trees. You can either pre-purchase, even for some of the companies, if they wanted to say,
Bring
hey,
a table or get a table.
yeah,
right?
if they wanted to, what we've done actually last year is they actually called ahead and said we need 15 lunches for a certain company. We were able to get all that ready. Then they just walk in, give it to them. There they
Okay.
go. Take it back to their office.
See?
For other staff. So if you want to treat your staff, lunch with the
There you go.
Trees.
Okay. And then, of course, the big drawing for the trees would be then
Yes.
on that Saturday.
On Saturday.
And that is the big deal.
The big deal at 1 o'clock.
Yes. And that'll be the 7th of December.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and that's at 1. So they'll shut everything down by noon.
Mm-hmm.
So by 11:45, I think they pretty much stop selling tickets and start telling everybody, hurry up, get them in.
Right.
Come 1 o'clock, come noon, it's shut down. And then it's amazing to think how long it takes to make it so beautiful and how fast they can tear
Well,
it down.
they have to, right?
And get it
'Cause
ready
you
for you.
people are telling us we got to get out of
We
here.
gotta get
because
outta
there's other
here.
events going on. That's
And
true.
yeah.
So that's very true.
And so what's nice is that, again, to make sure everybody knows, they're winning the tree, everything under it. And so really, they put one of those tree bags over it, and when you win it, you're picking it up, and you're just taking it straight out to your vehicle.
That's it.
It's awesome.
That's very true. It's a well-oiled machine, that's
Yes.
for sure. The
Yes.
Festival of Trees from Presbyterian Medical Services. It's a great event. And again, it will be here before we know it, I imagine. You're still looking for folks who would like to put in a tree or a wreath
Absolutely.
or other items, right?
Yes,
as part of the
absolutely.
display. This is the time to note your interest.
Absolutely. And so you can definitely come by and get any information that you want at 608 Riley, and just come in and say if you wanted to get an application. You can also speak with Carrie there and just come in, get an application, fill it out. And it's really not an application. It's kind of more of a form, of an entry form.
Right.
But, just to kind of know a little bit more about
Sure.
What they need, what those requirements are, because there are certain requirements.
Right. Types of trees or size and all that type of thing. So there you
Yes.
go. It'll be here before we know it.
It will be.
Tis
It
the
will be.
season.
I know it.
That's true.
Yes.
So, in our final minutes, again, we're just about out of time, Jill Adair, but again, your parents' meeting is tonight.
Our parent
Mandatory.
orientation, mandatory tonight.
Okay, this is for all parents of Head Start and Early Head Start
Yes,
kids.
yes. So if your child attends Head Start or Early Head Start at any one of our 7 locations, does not matter if you've been to one in the past, you have to still come every year. You have to.
Okay.
You have to, because things change, right? Regulations change, rules change, those types of things. So it's our time to review all of that information.
Okay.
So definitely come in tonight. We will provide childcare if need be.
Here at San Juan College,
Here
at
at
the
San Juan
Henderson
College.
Performance Hall.
Yes, at 5 o'clock. And we do have some openings. So if need be, definitely think about coming in, getting applications. That if you have any children that are ages 6 weeks up to 3, we still have quite a few openings, and particularly out in Bloomfield, in Aztec, and here at Carlton and up at Little Feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All over the place.
Yes.
So there you go.
All right.
Jill, thanks so much.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
very
you
welcome.
for having me.
Of course. That's Jill Adair, everyone. She is a Children's Services Manager with Presbyterian Medical Services, my guest here on KSJE. And I'll be back with more in just a moment, everyone. The time is 8:36. Did you enjoy that podcast? We hope that you did. And if you did, share it with your friends. And if you really want to keep podcasts like this coming, please support KSJE. You can do it easily online at ksje.com.